Yeah, so for me, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. I feel like
I,
it's too much.
I think you
Either I feel like
personally
I'm
just need to.
pretending. I feel like either I'm pretending. I can't shake off that thing. I feel like either I'm pretending, or like if I post things like I'm trying to be funny or I'm dancing, I feel like I'm looking for attention. Like I don't know. Like feels weird. Like
How
pictures.
do you
I
think
can post. I can post a
how
picture, or you're saying.
how do you think musicians blow? They don't have shame. Okay. I was talking about. I was asking him how does he think musicians blow? How
Yes,
how
you're
do you
saying.
think how do you think musicians blow?
I
Like how-
know.
they don't have shame. You know, they don't
Yes,
have
they don't have
shame.
shame. They don't have shame. They don't have shame. I can't.
You don't have.
I, I just can't say. And I was at a BET experience on Sunday,
Yes,
and
yes.
I saw we had a concert. There was a concert, and we had like some artists, and the artists are out there sweating, dancing their heart off, and people are just watching and with their phones. They're not doing anything. To me, I can't do
Exactly.
it. I cannot do it because.
Really? And you want to blow. You want your music career to blow.
Yeah, for me, honestly, like I can make songs in a studio. I can publish them. I can perform acoustic if I can perform acoustic, but I can't entertain. Like I don't like. Oh, put your hands up, and people are not putting their hands up. They're just looking at
No,
you. I was
no,
like,
Joseph, you
man,
must not go there.
we
No,
had.
you
I
must
was
not
at the
go there to
basketball
do
game.
put your hands up.
I know. I was at the game, like in New York, the Knicks game, one of the Knicks games. Halftime show, they had an artist, and the artist was like sweating, and the guy's like, "Put your hands up,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah," and we're just looking at him like, I was like, "This is a hard job. This job is hard. Like this is not a walk in the park."
Okay.
and and the
Okay.
guy didn't get embarrassed or underwhelmed. He just continued with his energy, energy, energy. I'm like, God damn, this is hard. It's hard, man. I'll just be in my
Okay.
office. If I fail,
Mm.
I fail by myself in silence. If a customer rejects me, it's by myself in silence.
Okay.
you know,
What if you get AI to do it for you?
AI. Oh, that's an interesting
Yeah.
proposition.
What if you get AI, like you just tell AI, this is my picture, make me
Yes,
perform or lip sync to my song
yes,
and all of that.
yes, yes.
Because it takes away that shame. That
Exactly,
shame and
exactly, exactly. No,
embarrassment
you're right.
out of
You're right.
things.
You're
Yeah.
right.
So I think AI would help you. But what do you think? Do you
Yes.
think it's something you want to try out? Let's see if it
Yes.
can work.
No, I'm with you. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see those AI, apps that can actually create your,
Yeah.
take your image, create your, like your avatar or something like that, and then make you sing and make you do all sorts of things. That'd be interesting to see how it turns out. Um,
What if all those prompts I gave you, what if you just give the prompt to the AI, then see how
mm,
it manifests it, and we can,
yes.
and then your TikTok page can just be AI. Like it's just not your face,
Yes.
but it's just AI.
Uh,
Yes. Yes.
I
I guess
think
there's
Interesting
a
that would
time
make
proposition.
a
Joseph's
I'll
good
try that.
Instagram.
investment.
I know there's a time Joseph, is it Joseph's your Instagram, your cover Instagram was as if it was an AI generated something of your face back then.
AI
I know you.
generated. Let me think. Oh yes, 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 yes. It was yeah, yeah. It was an animation. It was an like
Yes,
an
yes,
anime
yes, yes,
version of my
yes,
face. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I remember that. I remember that. Yeah. So yeah, I can do something.
But
Not my
Mm.
Instagram. For me, I want to keep my Instagram the way it is. I like it. It's like a photo
yeah,
thing,
lifestyle
right?
travel. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I,
But
I've been meaning.
my TikTok, because I haven't posted anything on my TikTok. You're saying?
I said I've
I
been meaning
think
to ask. I've been saying
um
one of these days
Alex.
I'll ask you like
Um,
how do you take so much time to do what you do on your
Uh-huh.
Instagram page? To be sincere, I like it.
I'm not doing.
Like you
Thank
take
you.
so much
I'm not doing.
time. Like anyway, he takes so much time of maybe the hotel room or
I
the
see them.
event or like the drive
I
through. I'm
see
like,
them. See.
Jesus. I like I
Same way,
wonder like
same
I
way
don't see
Joseph sees my TikTok because he has found my TikTok.
Yes,
I'm like,
yes,
this is
yes.
it's so nice. I'm
But why
like,
you are like a real influencer?
mm-hmm.
Oh, so you're cutting. So what I'm saying is, yeah. So why you're doing like full influencer stuff, like full on influencer. For me, I'm just posting. If I have a good photo in my thing, I just throw it out
Yeah.
there. If I have a good story, if I'm in a place and I have to record, I don't even edit the videos. I just record and
Mm.
post. You know, so it's not that much
I don't
editing.
even have time. I don't have time to actually take care of my own page too. Like I wish I did.
Yeah,
And that sitting down and actually delivering content. So today I said, okay, let me take content coming from my house here.
yeah,
Like I did a bit of videos while I was working. I took
yeah.
Alex. I just did all of that,
Ah,
and I want to see how
AY,
it will come
I'm
out.
appearing in your
But
videos. Hey.
how do you record? How do you record that entire experience? So you're like this all the time?
I have a
Joseph,
tripod.
that's the same thing you do.
Oh,
That's the same thing I'm asking.
nice,
That's not the same
nice.
thing you do, Joseph.
For, for me, it's not that much. For me, it's not that much. For me, it's just I have a phone. I would have like a moment. I record the moment, and then that's it. That's it. Like I don't record.
No,
I'm not like a
no,
vlogger. I've never
no.
done like a
I
day
think
in the life of.
your own is beyond the moment, Joseph. No, it's beyond the moment. Like it takes so much time. Like, eh, I don't have this.
No, it
They
looks
look
like this.
so good.
I don't even post as much. I post every week or something like that. Like every
Mm,
week or every 2 weeks. I don't post that frequent. And there are weeks that can go by. I can go by like a month sometimes without posting on
yeah.
photos. I post stories, even stories, unless I have like something that I think is cool, then I'll post it. Otherwise, just
Hmm.
like just like blank. But anyway, but it's exciting. I like it. I like Instagram. Instagram, I like it. TikTok, I haven't figured out TikTok yet, so
Yeah.
I'll see
But
what
but
what
I
you.
already dropped an idea, so you can just use AI for
Mm.
TikTok. I think
Yes, yes,
because
yes,
you are not performative, so AI will
yes,
actually
yes.
help you better to just,
Gotcha,
and it just
gotcha,
brings
gotcha,
us to
gotcha.
our conversation right now. Like we're supposed to ask if AI is taking jobs because you have
Yes.
just taken job from a content creator.
Exactly, exactly,
You've literally just taken a content creator's job. But really,
exactly,
are you
exactly.
scared, Alex? Are you scared that AI is going to take your job? What do you think? I know your job is like dirty groundwork, but what do you think about your job and AI
What
taking
did you
it,
call it?
Alex?
That is dirty ground job. Um, I'm not scared. I'm not scared, but at the same time, I'm scared that AI, with the rise of AI, there are so many jobs that will be
Yeah.
lost. One, and people say
Mm,
there are so many jobs that will be created. No, I think fewer jobs will be created, or many will be lost. For
Okay.
each,
I'm
in each
listening.
century or in each decade whereby we have a technological revolution, jobs are lost. For
Yeah.
example,
Yeah.
gone are those days in the 90s, right? Whereby you had people's
Yeah.
job were to switch on the lights on the streets. That was their job. Were to
Yeah.
ring the bell
Yes. Yes.
when there was an issue, right? You had town criers who go around to
Yes.
pass
Yes.
out information. We don't
Mm.
have those people again. And you
Yes.
had more of them back then. You
Yes.
have lots of people. It's their job. But where are they today? When
Yes. Yes.
Megaphone came out,
Yes.
town crying job reduced. When electricity came
Yes.
out, generators, it reduced. Now we have solar. Just install it and go and rest.
Yes.
So you see that,
Yeah.
I agree, new kind of jobs are coming up, but it's not going to
Yeah.
be as much as the way we had it during that time. So it's the same thing with AI. If you come to look at it back then, even back in those
Yeah.
days, you have thousands of people in telecoms. They are all known as the customer service. You call it, you have like 1 million and one people answering
Yeah.
call. And when you're talking to somebody, are hearing, oh, hold on, oh, hold
Yes.
on,
Yes.
yes, hold on. But now,
Yes. Yes.
for those
Yes.
people who still do the kind of localized call, you have like barely 20 people managing thousands of
Yeah.
customers, but you have one AI machine answering, responding.
Yeah.
Please tell me what will happen to the other people.
Yeah.
There is no job.
But where do you
So
think people are going to end up? Where do you think the replaced people are going to end up? You know,
now, um, I know nobody will agree, but the replace people, most of them will end up jobless. Yes, I know people might not
but
agree,
how are they
but
going to eat? They have to eat. People have to eat, right?
yes, now that's where I'm coming to. Since they will end up jobless, there it now comes. Yes, since they have to eat, they have to take care of themselves. Now, that's when I think you have governments of the world who have to start considering the universal basic income, meaning at the end of the month, you have to give out money to people who are not working, no matter how little, no matter how small, but you have to what? Pay people because now there are no jobs. You get how do they take care of
But
themselves?
my
You.
my honest, but how I find it difficult to believe that people that there
Mhm.
won't be any jobs and people won't do anything. So let me give you an example. Like you know,
Okay.
up to when I was in school, when I was in like high school, secondary school, we still had like
Yeah.
libraries and librarians and so on, right?
Yeah.
And the '08 crisis happened, right? '08 crisis
Hmm.
happened, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
And slowly, when you had like iPads and everyone had laptops and so on,
Yeah.
libraries for me like when I was in school, libraries were still a thing like recently, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, before anyone knew, just libraries disappeared, right? Like
Yeah.
slowly, like quietly disappeared.
Hmm.
Now you feel like what happened to all those people who are librarians? I mean, they're still working. They're working somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So it's not that they're on the streets, like homeless on the streets. I mean, some of them maybe in the US were homeless like temporarily or something like that and so on. But people are working. Like I remember we had um like way back when we had internet cafes, right? Back in our
Yeah.
country. Internet
Hmm.
cafes. I feel like internet cafes have completely gotten wiped out, right? And you
Agreed.
had people who are working on internet cafes. Yeah, they are still working. Like those people have jobs like somewhere else,
Yeah.
Yes,
So
but the truth
I
is,
find it hard. This is like I'm talking about things that I experience myself. Yeah?
yes, I agree with you. But my point is, if they
Yeah.
moved, it's because now different things came up. For example, content creation was never a thing. Now it's a thing.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's
Yes.
just one example. Content creation was never a thing, but now it's a thing. So many service-based kind
Yes.
of activities like house helps.
Yeah.
It was not. It was something that was looked
Yeah.
down on, but now people have commercialized it. Like, oh, you want
Yes.
this? I can do this. I
Yes.
agree. You get
Yes.
PA, personal assistant,
Yeah.
was never a thing, but at the time
Yes.
it became a thing. You
Yes.
get. But now look at
Yes. Yes.
look at people who you classify as personal assistant. You have AIs now coming up that can do the job of a personal assistant. You have Gen
Yes.
Yeah.
9.
But
You
the
have
personal assistant will do something else.
like what example?
Okay,
Me, I
so
just
here's
want to know
my
because I just ask like what.
yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, like what? What do you think the personal
Okay.
assistants will do? For example, we are using PA as an
Like
example.
what else are
What
they
do you
going to do
think?
if it's not so
Yeah.
like yeah, I think people are going to do something else because they always have. Like they've always you remember back in the day we used to have like people were using typewriters, like the old school idea of what a secretary is, like with a big typewriter,
Yeah. Yeah.
like old school typewriter.
Yeah.
And those typewriters were completely wiped out. And the job of like a typical secretary as we grew up thinking of a secretary doesn't exist, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
But are you
Mhm.
saying people don't have jobs? People still have jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
it's just because we don't know what those jobs are in the future, we
Hmm.
think
Yeah.
people are going to be good. So, and here's my thinking. Here's my thinking. One, I think AI isn't going to penetrate past 2 billion people. Absolute maximum penetration of AI, max 4 billion. It's never going to hit 8 billion. Why?
Mm.
The internet is 40 years old, right?
Hmm.
Let's say, and like 45 years old, and only half of the world population have access to the internet. And
Okay.
people say, well, it's more than that. No, because you have people who, you have, about 1 billion people who don't have a phone at all. You have another
Hmm.
3 billion who are using a feature phone. So you
Hmm.
have, 4 billion who are using the internet on out of eight.
Okay.
Of the 4 billion who are using the internet, I'm just throwing, I'm just going to group them. 4 billion who are using the internet.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom 3 billion, they're using the internet, their perception of the internet is like WhatsApp, WeChat, like maybe if you have
Mm-hmm.
WhatsApp, TikTok, WeChat, that's it.
Yeah.
So they're not using the actual full extent of what the internet, what you can
Internet.
access with the internet. The
Okay.
Yeah.
top 1 billion are the ones who are sophisticated enough to use more things, right? So they're using the internet for streaming and gaming and work and da
Mhm.
da da, and organizing their
Yeah.
lives and nutrition and so on. So
Mm-hmm.
if the internet is 45 years old,
Okay.
roughly, and 45 years down the line, only half of the world population are using it,
Okay.
and the require the literacy, like the level of user competence required to access the internet is actually lower compared to using
Mm.
AI.
Okay.
So I just from that means I do not think AI is going to replace anything. I can tell you
Okay.
right now. So, for
One
instance, to give
question.
you another
Okay.
complicated example, one more
Mm-hmm.
question, one more
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
So, the electric stove has been
Mm-hmm.
around for who knows when, maybe 70 years or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like a
Yeah.
very long time, electric stove. And today,
Mm-hmm.
if you go to India, if you go to, I don't know, like Uruguay, if you go
Mm-hmm.
to Nigeria, you will find someone who is driving a Lexus and they're cooking on with charcoal at their house. They have a house, the house has a gate, and they are
Okay.
driving a car and they're still using charcoal to cook,
Okay.
despite the electric stove being there for 70 years,
Okay.
and so on. So the point there being, adoption isn't uniform. Like
Okay.
adoption looks like it has a very, very, very high speed in the beginning, and then
Yeah.
it stalls, right?
Okay.
So you have layers in the world. Like right now, we're talking about AI. There are people
Mm-hmm.
in the same world we're talking about AI who have never accessed the internet.
Yeah.
So those people will never be touched by whatever we're going to be affected by AI. So AI is
Mm-hmm.
just going to come after people who are doing white collar stuff, a lot of analytical work like engineering and
Mm-hmm.
so on, and those people, because they're smart, and they're operating at a high level, they're just going to find other things to do.
Mm.
It's my
Well,
my view.
To an extent.
I like what Joseph said.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
like what
Alex
Joseph said.
had the
So the thing is, me, I would say everybody's still going to upskill. If you use AI, you definitely will have to
yeah
upskill. And you are not
yeah
stupid, like what Joseph said. Like you would know. In fact, you can even ask AI, what can I do now that
yes
you are coming up? What can I do now to make sure that I'm still relevant?
Mm-hmm.
Because unless you are stupid and you want to stay out of a job, you have to definitely
Uh-huh.
The way you put
you
it
have
is
to think of the
funny.
next you have to think of because I remember there's this friend of mine, we're having a discussion about, I think, 5 years ago, and then like there was nothing like chat GPT and all of that.
Yeah.
So he was talking about a another friend of ours that used to run Facebook ads as a job. Like that is all he used to do. So
Mm.
you give him Facebook ads and he'll run it for you.
Yeah.
In fact, some of my knowledge from Facebook ads, I used to like sit beside him in the office then and learn from him. So he told me, another friend of ours that knew the person I was learning from told me that that the way technology is going, that he's sure that very soon Facebook will be able to run ads for you. So will that
Mm.
guy be out of a job? We're
Yeah.
not there yet. You still have to set up your Facebook
Yes.
ads by yourself
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
manually. There's an
Yes.
automatic version, but you still have to set it up. But
Yeah.
guess what? This guy that I used to learn from right now is in Canada, and he's doing an entirely different thing apart from
Yes.
Facebook ads. So
Yes.
he is
Yes.
not stupid. Of course, he knew what he was doing. He decided
Yes.
to
Yes.
upskill. He went to
Yes.
Canada. He learned some things, and now I think what he's doing right now is training like young people on like things hidden in Facebook or something. Not necessarily Facebook ads, but there are things that
Yeah.
I don't know in Facebook, you don't know in Facebook that will definitely work for you and how
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you can walk around it. And he's doing perfectly well.
Yeah.
And me and the other person that was gossiping about him, we are still in Nigeria.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But
Exactly. So he has
yeah,
evolved. He has evolved. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yes. So you have to upskill,
I
irrespective
agree with
of who you are. And I
I
agree with
agree with
yourself again.
I agree with everything both of you are saying. But you know me, I always be the devil's advocate.
Yes.
But please look at it this way. Hmm? Imagine each and every one of us are upskilling, right? And the goal of upskilling is for you to either get a new job or get a promotion, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is, despite the fact each and every one of us will end up upskilling, right? You will not still have enough
Yes.
space to still contain the level of people that are upskilling. Look at in our world today. Let's be sincere.
Yes.
We have always pushed this narrative of make sure you go to school, get a degree. Now they
Yes.
said education is not it, right?
Yes.
Go and learn tech. There are people who has
Yes.
learned the tech and they know more than the people who are even doing the tech. But there is no job. There
Yes.
is nothing.
Yes.
Please, will you say they do not know what they are doing? That's because to an
Yeah.
extent, there are no even more spaces. Like because now you have AI doing what 5,000. Okay, let me. You have AI doing what two, no, what five people can do all at once. I was reading an article, and
Yes.
the article said if you look at it within this our time, entry level jobs will be out within the next 1 or 2 years. Meaning, organizations will stop hiring entry level. You know, the normal entry level, they'll tell you come with 1 or 2 years experience.
You know, it's true. Look at ourselves. Look at ourselves. We don't hire entry level people. We don't hire
Yes,
entry
like
level people.
gradually
No.
it's going.
Yeah.
It's not as if it's our fault
Yeah.
or it's just
Yeah.
technological advancement that is coming up. You get now, gone are
Yes.
those days when you finish school,
Yes.
they'll tell you 1 or 2 years experience. How many jobs will you see 1 or 2 years experience
Yes.
now? You rarely see 1 or 2 years
Very few.
experience. You
Very
see
few.
at least even
Yeah.
three.
Yeah.
Three will take you time. You're already seeing like half 4 years, and you
Yes.
be like, ah. And the truth is, there
Yes.
are people that have more than
Yeah.
that 4 or 5 years experience. But whose fault is it? It's not as if they're not learning. They are
Yes.
learning. They are trying to upscale. It's crazy. The only thing for me, I think, will help people within this AI stage is I don't know how to classify them, but I'll say those who have a very, very good creative mindset. If you have a very, very, very good creative mindset, getting a job will not be hard.
Yes. That's what I feel.
Yeah, because now you can tell the
Yeah.
person, oh, since we are doing this in this way, no, let's do it like this. Let's add a touch of this because of the level of
Yeah.
creativity you have. Because now AI indirectly too also wants your creativity because it also helps improves the model. It helps improves
Yes.
everything.
You got it right. You got it right.
You get what
So
I mean?
let me
Because
tell you
the more
something.
you are being creative, the AI knows that, oh,
Let
I've
me
not
tell you
seen this
something.
thing before.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let
go
me
on.
tell
You
you
want to say
something.
something different. Yeah.
The human brain, the human brain is extremely advanced.
Yes.
And the human brain isn't advanced just because of your years that you've been on earth. So the human brain is advanced from so many perspectives. So the human brain acquires data from all the senses that we know, the usual five senses, right?
Yeah.
Taste, hearing, seeing, blah blah blah. Also has like other senses, like sensing pressure and that, and and so
Yeah.
on. And also the human brain acquires has historical data from all of human existence, right, in our
Hmm.
DNA, right?
Yeah.
So the amount of machine learning our brains have done is how old, like Lucy, the the old skeleton thing that they found in Ethiopia, Lucy, is two
Yeah.
million years old, right? So if you assume 2 million years of 2 million years. You're talking about years. This is like seconds, minutes that are of
Yeah.
acquiring data and iterating, getting eaten by lions, falling off the cliff, dying of cold temperature, and figure 2 million years of survival. The brain has iterated across 2 million years of data. So the brain is extremely advanced. right? So for me, it's very hard to convince me that the brain is too advanced. Now, the only problem we have, right? I'm getting to the point.
Yeah.
The
Mm,
problem we have is we interact with the world. So our brains are extremely advanced, but we interact with the world from limitations of, culture, religion,
Yeah.
tradition,
mm-hmm,
education, and norms, and so on.
Hmm.
And so on. So those things create boundaries. I like the a prompt. I like a master prompt. Like your
Yeah.
brain is AI. It's like a giant AI, system. And the way your parents brought you up, the way you're treated in school, the way the country you're from and the culture there, your
Yeah.
religion, what you believe in, all of that stuff. I master prompt. They put guardrails on how far you can think and how you
Yeah.
the manners through which you should think and apply yourself in the world, right?
Hmm.
my my thing, what I would say to people once, because I've been in the same rat race, right? So, at some point I couldn't get a job because I didn't have a degree, and I started a business, failed because people couldn't pay me, and I couldn't go to school because I didn't have money to go to school. So you can't go to school, you can't get a job because you don't have enough schooling, and you can't do business because you're losing, people are not paying you, and
Yeah.
so on. So now you're
Hmm.
stuck. So what did I do? I went to volunteer, right?
Okay.
So why did my brain send me to volunteering? You're supposed to demonstrate your ability to produce value.
Value.
mm,
Okay.
Your what people who don't have jobs, the reason they don't have jobs is because they say their approach to getting jobs is,
mm.
hey, I have a problem, I need money, can you give me an opportunity? That's
Hmm.
Exactly.
not how it's done. That's like me. That's like
Exactly.
me going to a customer and saying, "Oh, Mr. Customer, I need money. Can you give me money? Because I need money to pay
Mm-mm.
salaries." The customer doesn't care. The customer couldn't
Yeah.
care any less. What you go
Yeah.
to a customer saying, "Mr. Customer, I saw you with this problem. My solution can save you with problem, make you a lot of money, save you a lot of money, and it costs this much." And the customer says, "Great, I'll try it for 1 month and see what's up. If I like it, then I'll subscribe."
Mm-hmm.
You're
Hmm.
supposed to approach a job market the same way. Your boss, like your employer or potential employer, is a customer. You are a salesperson. You are selling goods. You're a business person. You're selling goods. You're selling services. Services are your ability to produce value for them.
Value.
Result. Yeah.
So you're saying, "Hey, Mr. Employer, I know you're not hiring, but I've identified these areas where I can add value to your business. And guess
Hmm.
what? In 30 days, in 90 days, if I can't generate this much value, you can fire me, right?
Okay.
So you're supposed to come in with that business mindset of offering a free trial, offering this. You know how those people are selling like
Yeah.
groundnuts on the bus stand,
Yeah.
or food on the street. They're giving you a trial. Like, here's the tasting. Taste this. If you don't like it, fine. If you like it, great. Or you can
Hmm.
buy
Mm-hmm.
one like spoon of groundnuts. If you like it, great. Or
Yeah.
no, something. So you come in with that approach into the job market. Now, the difficulty is
Hmm.
the layers of growth you need to achieve to come from being a normal student when you're learning stuff in school
Hmm.
to being a master at producing value. It's like a giant world. Like, it's a giant world in
Yeah.
between.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hmm.
you need to upgrade. Now, how do you upgrade? People ask me, like, I have people, young people, whatever, want to be founders, and so they ask me, "Oh, I'm stuck. Da, 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 how do I go ahead?" One, you have to remove religion. You have to completely divorce your religion, 100%.
Okay.
Your religious beliefs are the number one thing that's going to make you fail against AI.
Africans. Africans are
100%.
religious. Okay.
I'm telling you, if you hold on to your religious beliefs, you are not going to beat AI, because AI is not thinking like a normal, superior AI system is not
Hmm.
going to think within those boundaries, and your brain is subjected into those
Sorry,
boundaries. So
I
you're
need to cut you
doomed.
Yeah.
short, Joseph. You know
Yes.
when your parents they send you things on WhatsApp,
Yeah.
especially AI generated things like they see on Facebook,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they
Yeah. Yeah.
tell you
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
pray that this is the Antichrist.
I'm like, I'm like, no, 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 no. Like, you need to understand where your brain is extremely advanced. But
Yeah.
you need to let your brain loose. How do you let your brain loose? One, you have to completely divorce religion,
Mhm.
completely get out of
Mm-hmm.
that nonsense. Number two, you have to divorce culture. Your culture is
I
limiting you.
agree.
Like your
I
culture is
agree.
bad. I don't care which country you're from, anywhere in the world, your culture is limiting you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Religion. The richest countries in the world are the least religious countries. The most religious countries are the poorest countries in the world. You go
Yeah.
online, find the rank of the most religious countries, and do like filter them to start with the most religious. The most religious are like the Burundi, and then all those countries who are broke. Those are the ones who are up there. The rich, the most like completely non-religious countries are the richest, right? So religion should be completely out. Number two,
Yeah.
culture. You
Culture.
need to
Mm-hmm.
get rid of your nonsense culture. Like culture, like you do not understand. And if you haven't trained your brain to be toward, like you haven't let your brain be advanced, you will not even see where culture is limiting you.
Mm-mm.
People try to pick out things in their cultures that are limiting. I'm telling you, you're most likely than not like fast enough and diligent enough to know what those things are. So the easiest thing, just quit your entire culture. Just like
Just
throw it out.
keep it one side, yeah.
Three, tradition are like the things we do, like the rituals. Oh, respect your parents. Oh, do this. Like we do all these things, subconsciously. Just throw
Yeah.
them out of the window. Throw out the thing. Now, what happens when you? I'm telling you, what happens when you free yourself of religion and culture? What happens? What
Yeah.
happens?
It,
Now
mm.
your brain, people talk about morality.
Oh,
I'm,
Mm-hmm.
I'm, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. Throw, throw morality away. I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you, throw it away. And here's what I mean. Here's what I mean. You are not going to compete. Have you?
Mm-hmm.
Have you? I don't know if you guys have seen the lengths at which AI systems are going to go to find out a solution if you put them in a pickle. They're going to go
yeah.
serious lengths, right? Now, why are they going serious?
Yes.
Because they don't have a moral, they don't have a moral boundary,
They don't
right?
have a moral. Yeah.
Yes. No. We in the world we operate with laws, right? We have laws like, oh,
You can't
you
do
or
this,
you can't,
yeah.
Yeah.
and so those laws are just things on a checklist that you are counting for, but they are not. They have nothing to do with morality. Do you
No, they
understand?
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm
I
saying.
learned
So
it in
those
school.
things have
There's
nothing to
more,
do with
you have to
morality.
separate morality and law. They can't go
Yes,
Yeah.
together. Like,
they are not the same thing. They are not the same thing.
mm,
Like the human rights charter is not because it's moral. Like the human rights charter is
mm,
law. We're all human. I don't want to
Yeah.
die. You don't want to die. So let's
Yeah.
not kill each
exactly.
other. And no. So that has
Yeah,
nothing to
that's
do
true.
with whether it's moral or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Morality, take it, put it, throw it out of the window. Now,
Yeah.
your brain has to be too advanced to keep iterating and deciding which value system is beneficial for you, right? And it
Hmm.
can't be rigid. It has to be a dynamic value system that you don't know. You don't know of. You will find out. Now, I can talk for hours on
Mm-hmm.
what do you do to find out
Hmm.
what's the most optimal value system for you, what's the most
Mm-hmm.
optimal direction. It can be like a 5 hour podcast. I can get to that. But those are the simple things. Now, why am I saying this? People say, oh, we only access 20% of our brain. How do we access more? I gave you the answer. Throw away religion, throw away culture, throw away morality. I promise you, your brain is going to start performing like you'll be like,
Yeah,
what? What?
you are telling
100%.
that to an African,
Ah,
They will come for
yeah.
you.
a traditional man.
They will look. Do you want to operate at a higher level or not? Like, do you want to compete in the age of AI or not? Right.
Or
So
not, exactly.
now, when you open your brain and now you're extremely competitive, why are you letting your brain lose? You want your brain to be extremely advanced at
Mm-hmm.
pattern recognition, right? Pattern recognition. Pattern
Mm-hmm.
recognition applies where? In life, in your life decisions, in your ways to produce value and generate an income, in your ways
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
to stay healthy, right? In your ways, like everything is just pattern recognition. And guess what? Our brains are they have 2 million years worth of
Yes.
pattern of data to draw patterns from. So our brains are extremely advanced at pattern recognition. We just have limitations. If we remove all these limitations, you recognize pattern fast. Guess what AI needs from you? Pattern recognition. And now
Pattern,
you
yeah.
want your brain to be able to generate patterns and predict patterns that are not normal,
Yeah.
that are not normal and haven't been seen before. So you want your brain to be like weird and extremely advanced. To do that, you need to reduce the amount of barriers and boundaries that you're putting, on processing, right? So long. That's the
Yeah.
long way of saying, if you let go of these things, you will realize. So you guys are telling me, oh, there are not enough jobs for that. Do you know there are vacancies right now? And do you know you don't have, just because you finished college, you don't have to start with an entry level role? Who told you? When I finished high school, I was 19. I started running, community development projects campaigns. I went to all offices in my city and started raising funds to build, water pumps. I just started raising funds. All of a sudden, I was the chairperson. I was executive director. I was running, and I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't approach it with a view of, oh, because I'm young I have to be entry level and go up the ladder. No, who said you can't be 22 out of college and go to be a VP of a company? Who said you can't? Like, where is it written? And you guys say, oh, because there's a writing of eligibility criteria that I have to have worked for 5 years. Well, the point of having worked for 5 years is you've accumulated enough, what they call experience, is you've seen enough instances for your
Yeah.
brain to develop
Yeah.
good
To
pattern
create
recognition
pattern.
and to be
Yeah.
able to predict the next move correctly, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
if you've already trained your brain to do that, all you have to do is demonstrate to the customer, who is the employer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you can deliver value despite not having 5 years of experience. The point is
Yeah.
delivering value. And I
Yeah.
promise you, the customer is going to pay, because the customer doesn't care about whether you're young or not. Customer cares about, well, are you actually producing value or not? For instance,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
if you ask any of these kind of companies that, like Kabi Lame, this guy, the guy who does this on TikTok,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
zero
yes.
experience, zero, relevant, education in marketing, never went to
Mm.
an MBA or any of that nonsense, and people are paying him millions and millions, gazillions of dollars because the biggest influencer on TikTok and across socials. Well, what does he have that's different? Well, he just found a niche. His brain quickly identified a loop to getting people engaged, and voila, he's the biggest
Mm-hmm.
guy on the street. So you don't, like, none of these other things matter, right? So people are hired. You have like people who are social media, people who run social media, right? They,
Yeah.
the big old school, rigid people, they find this kid, the kid is running social media well. Okay, come be my, my
Yeah.
spokesperson at my company.
My spokesperson,
You're the
yeah.
chief spokesperson at 25 years old, just because
Mm-hmm.
you're the best at, at messaging, right? So
Yeah.
And
like,
because you can
actually,
talk.
in the world we live in today, all of that stuff doesn't matter. Like the stuff of
Mm-hmm.
LGBT, education, years of experience, none of that stuff. Like, we've broken that loop. We're in the
Yeah.
world of results first. Do you have the results? If you have the results, you'll be handed, the keys to the kingdom, if that's the case. So
I
even
think
with AI, Alex, you
mm,
pointed out, AI needs to learn from someone. And
Yes.
even
yeah.
as AI gets advanced, if your brain doesn't have barriers, your brain will always find uses for AI. So, for instance, I'll give you an example. Have we reached to a level where everyone in the world can eat 3 meals a day and be full and happy? No. So we need to put AI to use and produce a lot of food. So we need
Yeah.
someone to do that. Have we reached a level where everyone has access to electricity everywhere in the world, 100% electrification? No. So we need someone to put that to use. Have we reached a level where people are not dying of ridiculous diseases? No. We need to
Yeah.
put that to use. And if you put everything to use and the world looks like Narnia, like a fantasy land, well,
Mm-hmm.
why can't we set up, have we mined asteroid? Oh, we have this asteroid actually coming to hit us in 2036 or whatever it is. So
Yeah.
can we figure out with AI, go figure out how to destroy that
How
asteroid?
to blow the
So
asteroid
like,
away.
you know what I'm saying? So like, there being more access to AI means we will put it to use. If your brain is superior,
Yeah.
you'll put AI to use. The AI is like,
And
it's like having
another thing
a
is,
tractor.
another thing is, even with the AI is not going to execute it. You need actual humans to execute things.
So AI can execute, by the way. I
Yeah.
like
By
the movie.
writing.
Yes. So yes,
Yes.
AI can
But
actually
not
execute, and
like
AI can do.
physically.
Yes, AI can execute physically. By the way, so what's going to
Ah.
happen as AI advances? You'll get to producing robots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Robots, and those
Oh yeah,
robots are
robots.
following
Yeah.
commands from a central command,
Yes,
or they're
yes, that's true.
autonomous, and then the robots are building. And then, for instance,
Yeah.
there's this movie, you know, that Chinese movie where the world is going to fall apart, so they put engines on Earth, and then they push Earth out of orbit.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
think I've seen
Um,
it.
yeah, there's that nice movie. Now they have two like massive, super intelligent computers. I don't know if they're
Mm-hmm.
even computers. One is on the moon, one is on Earth. Those computers are doing everything. They're like
Mm-hmm.
like mining, creating the materials, constructing, and then creating the engines, and then pushing Earth out of orbit. Just one computer. So extremely advanced super intelligence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to happen. But well, my argument there is like, well, even in the world where you have super intelligence and AI can do everything, well,
Mm-hmm.
if your brain is extremely advanced, you will figure out what to do because the brain's job is solving those problems and figuring out the next exit or the next
The
move. You know
next
what I'm saying?
exit. Yeah. Yeah.
The brain is too smart. You guys are not respecting our brains. Our brains are extremely advanced. Like our brains,
I,
the amount of problems my brain has gotten me out of. Like the brain is too advanced. Like I'm
one
telling
of
you.
one of these
So,
podcasts, we are just going to go live, and we'll just be
Yes,
talking.
exactly.
Like everybody will just be listening to Joseph talk.
but, but for you, Joseph, one
Yes,
question regarding AI. Do you think
yes,
we are ready for what is coming?
yeah.
The world.
Let's do it. Let's
No,
do it.
yes, we
We're
know it
ready.
to be good, but do you think we're ready?
Yeah, we're never going to be like you. I don't know what you mean by ready, but we're never going to be ready in whatever terms you mean. Like we're humans.
Like
In the
the
same world
level of
today.
advancement is
Yes,
it's so quick. Let me use that word. Like for example,
yes,
today you hear Google release one model, and it's not up to
yes,
48 hours. Another person has
yes,
surpassed it. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
why that has surpassed it? After 1 week, you're hearing this Google has gone back and they have released something destroying everywhere. You're like, you have not finished catching your breath, and OpenAI is saying
Yes.
we are building this and it's going to come out. You're like, can't we just take it chill? Like 1 week
Okay,
at
so
a time.
one. I think that's actually not global. We are the ones who are in the world at the front, so we think things
Yeah, we
advanced.
are the ones saying it here.
So like we like the way development works is you have like if you do a bubble graph, you have people who
Mm,
are all the way at the front and top, and then you have people who are still in the 1900s. I can tell you
yeah.
right now on this planet Earth today, there's someone who has never seen a car, like an automobile. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
it's not
Yeah,
gone past
yeah,
you.
yeah.
It's like you have millions of humans today who don't know what a car is. The car was invented in the early 1900s. No one has seen a car.
Mm,
Like we have people who have never seen a car. You have people who still
Mm-hmm.
believe a car eats rice. You have people who have seen cars and they think a car eats rice. Right?
mm,
In
Mm-hmm.
the same world we're
mm,
living in. So
Yeah.
AI, like us living in a world where we know the power of AI, we use AI every day, we apply it in our jobs and that. It just means we're in the same, like we're in the same in the at this given time we're all the way at the front, and then you have people, a lot of people all the way at the back. And my question is, well, AI can advance the AI advancement can go on all at once, but is it going to trickle down all the way to the last 8 billionth person?
Mm-hmm.
If not, then it's going to be like a car, like the internet, like anyone else, with slow
I think
development and people. Yeah,
no, I say I think it will because compare to adoption rates in this our time and that of our parents. Like now, things usually get adopted quickly. So I think
they
just the way
don't.
you
They
said,
if you look at patterns, they don't, because the internet is 45 years old and there are half a billion people, like half a trillion, almost not a like half the world population who hasn't seen, who
Who haven't
hasn't
seen
accessed the internet.
internet? Yeah.
So or whatever the number is. So like for me, it's like it's cute, but I'm telling you, it's not going to trickle down to everyone. Like it's like how old is banking? Banking is old, like I don't
Mm.
know, 200 years old or whatever the number
Yeah.
is, 300 years old. I don't know. Banking is very, very old. But
Mm-hmm.
how many people today don't have bank accounts? A lot.
A lot.
A lot. Like billions. And banking is that old. And banking is very basic and old. Like even old school banking is old, but you have billions who don't have banks. So like development isn't even like like advancement. You know
Mm-hmm.
how old is a farming tractor? Very very old. You have people
Very
still
old.
thinking like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like how old is a polio vaccine, but or like these vaccines, very old, 100 years
Very
old,
old,
right?
yeah.
Also, but you have people who have never had any vaccine, you know so
And
like
sometimes it's by
development
choice.
isn't, yeah, development is not even, I would say, the like, so take an example of like the best like the best organizations that have driven the best outreach programs. So
Mm-hmm.
the church, for instance, the church driving Christianity. So Christianity has been around 2,000 years. 2,000, let's say 2,000 years. Is everyone a Christian on earth? No. Has everyone heard of Christianity? No. And
No.
it's been around for 2,000 years. So what I'm trying to say is like information. We think information. Oh, it spreads very fast. Now we're in the age. The world is
It's
fast.
not
Not
everywhere.
really. I mean, yeah, we are the ones who are like at the very, 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 very top and front of the of
Mm-hmm.
the of the like development motion.
Mm-hmm.
But a
Yeah.
lot of people are left behind all the time, every day. And being left
Yeah.
behind is a compounding thing. If you are left behind on electricity, guess what? You're going to be left behind on internet because you can't charge your phone.
Don't
You're
you
going to be
charge your
left behind
phones?
on because you don't have internet and you don't have a smartphone. You're going to be left behind on banking and social media. You're going to be left behind.
Yes.
So you're just going to be left behind across the board. So it's a very serious trickle down effect when you're getting left behind. So I don't think AI is coming after 8 billion people. I think it's just coming after the top 1 billion. And the top 1 billion, of those top 1 billion, if they keep up, they're going to use AI and advance. I promise you, even when we're too advanced and we have people living on Mars, you're going to have
Mm.
people somewhere on Earth who have never seen a car.
Who don't even know that people are living on Mars?
Yes,
Who
exactly.
don't even know
Mm.
On
that
this
people are
very
living on
planet.
Mars?
I travel a lot.
Exactly.
Like I've traveled a lot. I love traveling, and it's fascinating when you travel. You get in bubbles. There are people who don't know who Michael Jackson is. Like if you go
Yeah.
in the mountains, like I was in Malaysia, went into the
Okay.
villages in Malaysia in the mountains. People don't know Michael Jackson. People don't know any of this. Like people just don't know. Like they're just
People don't
in a
know.
completely different universe. It's fascinating. It's fascinating.
Yeah. We just have 2 more minutes,
No,
so
yes, definitely, yes. Some people might not know who Michael Jackson is. I never knew
Yeah.
who Albert Einstein was, but you hear about him like, okay, this person did this, but it's just normal. Like, definitely, our time will come and go, but yeah, there are
Yes.
records that shows that this person exists. Yeah, like
Yes.
tomorrow, if you give birth, you'll be like, back then there was one Michael Jackson. You're like, what does he do? Right?
Yeah.
So it's normal, but I just feel that with the rate in which AI is going,
Yeah.
it's too fast. I won't lie. It's
I'll be
too.
surprised. I want to say, I know what you're saying, but it will be the first thing to break
Mm.
through and access everyone. Like I will, for me, I'll be shocked if I say that because I'm telling you, the like how long have we had clothes? We've had clothes for too long, right?
and there are people
Mm-hmm.
that
And
still don't
human
wear
beings on
clothes.
planet Earth right now who don't have
They
clothes.
don't, they don't have clothes.
How old is clothing? Like
there
not ten
there are
thousand years,
people that
20,000
see
years old.
planes and they throw stones at the planes because they don't know what it
Yes,
is.
they don't
Yeah.
like the world, the earth is big, and like distribution of information is strangely unequal and doesn't trickle down all the way to the last person. Like it
Mm-hmm.
just ends at some point based on other prerequisites. It's like a filter. It's like if you've had this, and this, then you'll be able to see this and that. Otherwise, you won't see it. It's a literal dimension. Like I don't know if you guys have gone into the trenches in different countries. you, me, I, we're living in a complete different dimension. Like there are
Yeah,
people
in another
who
Exactly.
don't
reality.
know that you know we're recording ourselves here, and there are people who don't know that any of this stuff exists, like has ever been
Exactly.
invented. Like they're in a complete different dimension. Like they're in a
Mm.
different parallel universe. Like it's
Mhm.
fascinating to see. So I think that's how it's going to be with AI. Like it's just going to AI is just going to be that another layer where like top billion, top 2 billion, are using it, and the world gets extremely advanced, and other people get continue their lives as is. We'll see. But yeah,
All
thank you
right.
guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Don't forget to use the AI to do your videos.
I will. I will. I will. AI replacing me as a content creator.
He
I
has
know.
taken,
I
he
know.
has
Yes.
taken, he has made somebody lose another job.
Exactly. 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 So we'll see what's up. All right, guys. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All
Have a
right.
good
Cheers.
day, guys.
Bye.
Yeah. See you
Yeah.
next week.